Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. A leaked video showing former Vice President's son allegedly involved in gold smuggling reveals political nexus. Home Minister issues directive for investigation. Candidate registration to be held tomorrow for election of chairperson at the National Assembly. Ruling coalition to field Narin Dahal, Nepali Congress, Yuvraj Sharma. Nepal receives 839 billion rupees in remittance in the 7 months of ongoing fiscal, 21% higher than last year, but amount going through students going abroad goes up. And Bangladesh lifts the title of SAF Under-16 Women's Championship, defeating India 3-2 in tiebreaker. Kantipur television has received a video that shows Jitendra Pun, the son of former Vice President Nanda Bahadur Pun, involved in gold smuggling. The video was taken by Chinese nationals who sold the illegal gold to Pun, and it first shows the Chinese nationals speaking in their language, followed by Pun signing a document regarding the transaction. In the video, Pun is asked to show his identity card, to which he complies. The video then shows details of the transaction. In the 6-page agreement, Pun has borrowed the gold based on the rate of 385 RMB per gram, which is the Chinese currency. Pun, based on the agreement, had bought 4 kilograms of gold with the assurance of paying within 1 year. Likewise, based on the agreement signed on October 2019, the interest rate at which the gold was bought was 0.3% per day. Pun is also seen giving his fingerprint. The 6-minute-long video also shows the Chinese nationals taking Pun's national ID card as security. Kantipur Daily had also reported that the Vice President's personal secretary's national ID card had also been used for gold transactions. Last year, the former Vice President's another son, Dipesh, had also been alleged of having close ties with Dawa Chiring, who is one of the main individuals behind the 60 kilograms gold smuggling scandal. However, Dipesh was let go after general inquiry. 9 people are still in judicial custody in the case. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister Ravi Lamechhane has directed Inspector General of Police to investigate the alleged involvement of Jitendra and Dipesh Pun, the sons of former Vice President, in the gold smuggling. CPN Maoist Centre and Nepali Congress have finalized separate candidates for the post of National Assembly chairperson. Maoist Centre has decided to field Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal's brother Narin Dahal, while Congress has finalized Yuvraj Sharma. Dahal, who had become a National Assembly member in Kota, nominated by the President, has 4 years of his term remaining. CPN Maoist Centre has 18 members along with the Vice Chairperson in the National Assembly, 10 from CPN UML, 8 from CPN Unified Socialist and 3 from Janata Samajwadi. Meanwhile, 16 members of the National Assembly are from Nepali Congress and 1 each from Loktantrik Samajwadi and Jana Morcha. The post of the National Assembly chair has been an issue of political dispute, as the leadership is responsible for making recommendations for the officials at the Constitutional Commission and remains a member of the Constitutional Council. Nepali Congress has been making efforts to form the opposition alliance, however, it has yet to yield desired result. The party's decision to go with Sharma, meanwhile, has left leader Krishna Prasad Sitola disheartened. Sitola had met with Prime Minister Dahal earlier today and expressed resentment, saying the Premier had betrayed him. As per the power-sharing deal among the ruling alliance partners, the post of the Vice Chairperson of the National Assembly will be given to CPN UML. Parties are to register their candidates tomorrow for the National Assembly election for chairperson on the 12th. Janata Samajwadi Party Chair Upendra Yadav has returned to lead the Ministry of Health and Population after 4 years' time. While assuming the office, the minister said he will reduce the waiting time at hospitals for treatment and improve access to health services. However, his record in the past tells otherwise. Yadav was appointed to the ministry in 2018 under the KP Sharma Oli-led government. He was heavily criticized for going on foreign visits when the country was reeling under dengue epidemic. A year later, he served at the Ministry of Law. Yadav has the challenge of bringing into life the basic hospitals plan at all local levels, improve the conditions at government hospitals and address the issues seen in procurement of health equipment and materials, considering the numerous controversies that have surfaced in recent time. Likewise, Minister Yadav also has a challenge of making the right appointments and transfers, as there have been cases where transferable diseases hospital has been looked over by pediatricians, among others. The minister also has a challenge of ensuring the health sector is away from political influence and interference, as hospitals, insurance board and the departments have been grounds for political appointments. Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane has said the government is optimistic on solving the problems of victims of loan sharks. During the sixth meeting between the government and the victims, the minister assured the victims that their demands would be addressed. 9 members from the Victims Struggle Committee are in dialogue with the government. They have said the Home Minister was optimistic in addressing their plight. They have demanded for a commission with full authority to address their problems. And also the withdrawal of cases at court, scrapped the agreement with loan sharks, among others. The victims had reached the capital on foot after a 23 days journey and have been staging protests. Today they took out a rally followed by the meeting with the government. Around 2,037 million rupees has to be spent to provide relief to families of more than 2,600 newly declared martyrs, with additional 2,674 names included in the new list of martyrs, which was published in the National Gazette on Thursday. The number of martyrs in the country has reached 14,610. Prime Minister Dahal is being criticized for adding burden to state coffers by increasing the number of martyrs. The cabinet meeting held 2 months ago had decided to declare more than 2,600 individuals as martyrs. However, the decision could not be implemented at that moment. Premier Dahal went on to implement the decision soon after the change in political equation. As per provisions, the government provides 1 million rupees to families of those who are declared martyrs. The government has to spend more than 2,067 million rupees to provide compensation to the families of the recently declared martyrs. Disputes regarding the issue have increased as Minister for Finance Prakash Sharan Mahat had rejected in fact the Premier's directive to immediately release the state amount, saying he would not do works that would increase the burden of the state coffers. The family members of martyrs will also get access to services in health, education and employment sector in the martyrs' quota. The decision had caused dispute within the previous alliance government. However, controversies have not been witnessed in this regard in the current government. This means that the ruling coalition partners CPN-UML, Rashtriya Swatantra Party, Janata Samajwadi and CPN Unified Socialist, among others, have supported the Premier's decision. Now, in our Public Voice segment, today we've asked people in several provinces regarding difficulties in accessing services available at the province headquarters. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
संघबाट आउनुहुने सचिवज्यूहरू भएको कारणले एकदमै धेरै चाहिँ काठमाडौँ नै केन्द्रित भएको कारणले मन्त्रालयमा धेरै नहुने कारणले पनि सेवा कार्यालय गाह्रो छ।
कुन मन्त्रालय कहाँ छ, कुन काम कहाँबाट हुन्छ, भौतिकमा गयो सामाजिकमा पुग्नुपर्छ, सामाजिकमा गयो मुख्यमन्त्रीमा पुग्नुपर्छ। अब त्यो जनतालाई नै थाहा छैन कुन काम कहाँबाट भइरहेछ भन्ने कुरा।
दुष्ट सेवा दिने कुराहरूमा राजनीतिक खिचतानीले पनि अलिकति तलमाथि पारेको छ।
स्थानीय तहबाट हाम्रो कामहरू यहीँबाट हुने भएकोले हामीलाई उता जानु पर्दैन।
जनतालाई सुविधा दिने अहिले सरकार भनेको छँदै छैन।
काम गराउन जाउँलाई चाहिँ प्रदेशमा अलि मलाई त लागेर छैन। मैले यही काम हुन्छ।
प्रदेशको आफ्नै ऐन कानुनहरू नबनेको कारण अहिले पनि मान्छेलाई केही काम पर्दा त्यो काठमाडौँ केन्द्रित हुनु परेको।
प्रदेश सरकारले यहाँ चासो लिँदैन। यहाँ 2 नम्बर प्रदेशमा चासो लिँदैमा त्यो 2 नम्बर प्रदेश अगाडि हुन्छ। यहाँ त्यही कारणले काठमाडौँ जानु बाध्य छ।
कर्मचारीहरू कहाँ हुन्छ थाहा हुँदैन। स्थानीय कर्मचारीहरू छ, कमसेकम कोअपरेट त गर्नु पर्यो नि कि हैन। सेवाग्राही आज हामी समयमा सेवा दिनुपर्छ।
कुन बेलामा कुन सरकार ढलिन्छ, कुन पार्टीको सरकार बन्छ, अब त्यो एउटाले कारबान गर्छ, अर्कोले कारबानलाई मान्दैन।
The increase in remittance and decrease in imports have raised foreign currency reserves to 1,844 billion rupees. This, Nepal Rashtra Bank says, will sustain imports of goods and services for over 1 year. Based on the latest report released by the central bank today, remittances went up by 21.6% compared to last year, as the country has received 839 billion rupees in remittances in the 7 months of the ongoing fiscal year. Imports reduced by 2.3% to stand at 897 billion rupees. Balance of payment is at a surplus of 297 billion 720 million rupees. The central bank has also reported decreasing inflation in recent time. Inflation rate in Nepalese month of Magh stood at 5.01%, which last year during the same month was 7.88%. However, the amount of money leaving the country through students going for education abroad has been increasing. 66 billion 640 million rupees has left the country for education, which was 43 billion 740 million rupees last year. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has announced his government will not allocate budget for industries that have been struggling for years. However, this statement comes in contradiction to his own proposal for budget to the Ministry of Finance for Hetauda textile industry, Butwal yarn factory and Gorakhali rubber industry. On 29th of February, during the meeting to review the government's policies, program and budget, the Premier opined the government should not allocate budgets for projects that had not completed for years, which was welcomed by all quarters. However, it contradicted his own plans to revive struggling industries. Repeated investments in several industries have failed to produce any desired results. The Butwal yarn factory, established some 4 decades ago, has been inoperational since 16 years. The factory owes the government 1 billion 480 million rupees and 1 billion 390 million rupees to BFIs. The factory's equipment have also depreciated. Likewise, the Gorakhali rubber industry, established 39 years ago, owes the government 14 billion 860 million rupees and BFIs 1 billion rupees. It needs an additional 2 billion rupees for resumption. The Hetauda textile industry has remained shut since 23 years after reporting loss for consecutive years. The industry needs 1 billion 930 million rupees to resume operation. Experts have called the Prime Minister's plan to invest in these industries a popularity stunt. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Before today's question, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we'd asked you, why are political parties giving priority to power rather than implementation of federalism? 20% voted for option A, centralized mindset, 70% for B, hunger for power, and 10% for C, not understanding the essence of federalism. And here's today's question. What's your take on the Prime Minister's announcement of not allocating budget for industries regarding no progress, while saying he will revive struggling industries? Your options are A, double standard, B, politics for vote, and C, adding burden on state coffers. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. United States President Joe Biden has warned that there are red lines Israel should not cross in its war in Gaza, while insisting he would never abandon the U.S. ally. In a contradictory and confusing interview with MSNBC aired on Saturday, Biden said that an Israeli invasion of the city of Rafah would be his red line for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, but he will also never leave Israel. In some of his most pointed criticism of the Israeli leader yet, Biden also said that Netanyahu was hurting Israel more than helping and should pay more attention to innocent lives being lost in Gaza. While Biden has firmly backed Israel in its campaign to destroy Hamas, his administration has been increasingly at odds with Netanyahu over the scale of civilian casualties in Gaza and restrictions on humanitarian aid into the enclave.
Sports News.
Bangladesh has lifted the Under-16 Women's SAF Championship trophy, defeating India in 3-2 in tiebreaker in the final held today. India had taken the lead in the 4th minute itself through Anushka Kumari. Mariam Binta equalized in the 71st minute. The regulation time ended in a waddle draw as both sides failed to find the net in the second time. Bangladesh remained undefeated in the tournament, having won over Nepal 2-0, Bhutan 6-0 and India 3-1 in the league round, and made its way through to the final. Defending champions Nepal had been out from the league round itself. Neuro team NRT have entered into the semi-final of the Budasuba Gold Cup, defeating 3-1 Army Club 2-1. In the quarter-final match held in Tharan Stadium, Army took a lead but could not sustain. Man Bahadur Ali Magar opened Army's account in the 5th minute. However, NRT equalized in the 14th minute through Sishir Lekhi. Afiz Olawale scored for NRT in the 60th minute to seal the match at 2-1. Nepal Police will face Morang football tomorrow. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.